The girl with strange eyes night was quiet on the edge of New Terra, a small human colony on a distant planet. The sky was filled with stars, but one light was different. It moved fast. It burned red. It was not a star, it was a crashing ship. 14-year-old Liam was sitting near the forest, watching the sky. He liked the quiet here. His house was nearby, and his father worked in the colony's security force. Liam was used to seeing patrols, lights, and big machines, but tonight was different. He saw the ship fall. It disappeared into the dark trees. Without thinking, Liam grabbed a flashlight and ran into the forest. The air smelled like fire. The trees were broken. Small flames burned on the ground. Liam moved carefully. His heart was beating fast. Then he saw a small silver pod, broken in half. Smoke came out from the side, and then he heard a sound. Someone was inside. Liam pointed his light at the pod. A figure was crawling out. Not a robot, not a soldier, a girl. She looked about his age. Her skin was pale blue, and her hair was silver white. But the strangest thing were her eyes, bright purple, glowing softly in the dark. She looked scared. Her clothes were torn. She held her arm like it was hurt. When she saw Liam, she stepped back, ready to run. "It's okay," Liam said quietly. "I won't hurt you." She didn't understand the words, but something in Liam's voice made her stop. She looked at him carefully, her glowing eyes wide. Suddenly, loud sounds came from behind. Flashlights, voices, soldiers. Search the crash site. Something came down here. Liam turned to the girl. "Come on," he whispered. He took her hand and pulled her into the trees. She didn't fight. She followed. They ran together, deeper into the woods, until they reached Liam's backyard. There was a small storage shed behind his house. He opened it and pushed her inside. She sat in the corner, breathing hard. Liam closed the door. The sound of soldiers grew louder. They were searching nearby. One soldier's voice came close. "Check that shed." Liam's heart stopped. He picked up a small rock and threw it toward the opposite side of the yard. The sound made the soldier turn. "What was that?" the soldier asked. Another voice answered. "Probably just a lizard beast." The soldiers moved away. After a few minutes, their lights disappeared into the trees. Liam opened the shed slowly. The girl was still there, watching him. She looked tired, afraid, but not angry. Liam gave her a blanket and a bottle of water. She didn't take it at first, then slowly reached out. "Drink," he said gently. She looked at the bottle, sniffed it, then drank a little. She coughed, then drank more. "My name is Liam," he said. He pointed to himself. "Liam." She watched him, then slowly said, "Liam." He smiled. "Yes, Liam." He pointed to her. "You." She was silent for a moment. Then she spoke, softly. "Zura, Zura," Liam repeated. "Okay." They sat in silence for a while. Liam looked at her injuries. One of her arms had a deep scratch. She winced when he touched it. "I'll get some bandages," he said. He stood up, then paused. "Stay here, okay?" Zura nodded. Liam went into the house. He moved quietly. His father was asleep. He took a first aid kit from the bathroom and returned to the shed. He cleaned her wound. She flinched, but didn't pull away. She watched him with curious eyes. Zura then took something from her pocket, a small metal device, about the size of a coin. It had strange symbols on it. She pressed a button. A soft light blinked. Liam leaned in. "What's that?" Zura said one word, "Home." But before Liam could ask more, the device beeped loudly. Zura's eyes widened. She pressed it again and again. The light turned red. "What's wrong?" Liam asked. Zura looked scared. "They come." "Who?" Liam asked. Zura pointed at the sky. "Not humans, hunters." Liam felt a chill. "We have to hide you better." Zura nodded. She looked down, her voice quiet. Not normal. My people, they don't want me." Liam looked at her glowing eyes. "You don't seem dangerous." She shook her head. "Not danger, just different." Liam made a decision. "You can stay here. I'll help you. We'll figure this out." Zura looked at him. For the first time, she smiled. But outside, in the forest, a small drone hovered silently. Its red light blinked. It had found the shed, and it was already sending the signal. Her name was Zura *. The night was colder than usual, and the wind moved like whispers through the trees. But it wasn't the wind that made Liam wake up. It was a sound, a mechanical hum, quiet, but not natural. He sat up in bed. For a second, he thought it was a dream. Then he looked outside the window and saw it, a red blinking light, hovering in the dark, a drone. His heart dropped. He grabbed his flashlight and ran outside, careful not to wake his father. The shed was quiet, too quiet. He opened the door quickly. "Zura," he whispered. She wasn't inside. Panic hit him like a wave. He looked around, heart racing. Then he saw her. Zura was standing in the backyard, staring up at the sky, the red light from the drone reflected in her glowing eyes. "Zura," he whispered harshly, running to her. He grabbed her hand and pulled her down behind the shed. "Do you want to get caught?" Zura looked confused. "It watching, yes," he whispered. "It's a drone. It sees everything." Zura held up her small device. The red light was blinking faster now. "They come," she said. "Not soldiers, others." Liam stared at her. "Who are they?" She didn't answer right away. Then, slowly, she said, "My people sent them." "To clean mistake." "Mistake?" Liam asked. "Does you look down?" "Me?" Liam was quiet. He didn't know what to say. Suddenly, the drone moved. It shot upward, fast, disappearing into the sky. Liam knew what that meant. "They have your location now," he said. "They're coming." Liam took Zura inside the house, into the basement. It was the only place not scanned by colony patrols. He gave her water, and they sat on the floor. "Tell me everything," Liam said. "No secrets." Zura looked at him. She blinked slowly, as if choosing which words to use. "My name is Zura. I born in Lab 7. Half Alari, half human. Project Z09. Created, not natural." Liam was speechless. "Human, like me?" Zura nodded. "Used human genes. Strong body. Smart mind. Weapon. But I not want to fight." Liam's voice was low. "They made you a weapon, yes. But I felt things. I cared. They called it a flaw." She touched her heart lightly. "I escaped. But they sent hunters." Liam sat back. "So the drone was them." Zura nodded again. "Hunters fine with drone. No one escapes twice." Hours passed. Liam snuck upstairs to get food and clothes. He returned and gave Zura one of his old jackets. It looked funny on her, but it helped her hide the glowing parts of her skin. She smiled at him. "Thank you, Liam." He smiled back. "You said it right this time. I learned," she said, tapping her head. They shared a quiet laugh, but peace didn't last. Suddenly, the house lights flickered. Then, silence. All power was gone. And in the silence, they heard it. A low, metallic growl. Not a ship, not a drone. Something alive. Liam grabbed a small light. Zura's eyes were already glowing again. From the basement window, a shadow passed by. Tall, slow. It had claws. Zura stood up. "Hunter." Liam backed away. "What do we do?" Zura closed her eyes. Her fingers glowed faintly. Her skin shimmered. Then she opened them again. "I fight. You run." "No," Liam said firmly. "We run together." Zura stared at him. "You protect me, even now." "Yes," Liam said. "You're not a mistake. You're not alone." Something growled again, this time closer. The door upstairs creaked. Zura grabbed his hand. "Come. I know place. Safe." They ran through a side tunnel Liam's father had built years ago for storms. It led to the old storage area under the colony's supply station. They reached the end, and Zura used her device to lock the door behind them. The tunnel collapsed as they escaped. They were safe for now. In the hidden room, they rested. Zura leaned against the wall. Her face looked tired. Her hand was shaking. Liam knelt beside her. "What's wrong?" She looked at her arm. The wound from the crash hadn't healed. "I lose strength. My body needs recharge. Sunlight. Time." Liam remembered something. The power station had solar panels. Maybe he could use them to help her. "I have an idea," he said. But before he could explain, Zura pointed to a screen on her device. A new message. Unknown signal detected. Incoming. Life form. Alari code black. Arrival in 36 hours. Zura's face turned pale. "That not Hunter." She whispered. "That is my mother." Liam blinked. "Your mother." Zura nodded slowly. "She is leader, general of Alari fleet. She thinks that's shame. She comes to erase me and all who help." Liam's voice was a whisper now. "She'll attack the colony." Zura's voice cracked. "If she knows I am here." "Yes." Liam stood up. His mind was racing. He looked at the girl who had crashed into his life, the girl with strange eyes, the girl who was hunted by her own kind. And he made a choice. We'll stop her, he said. Zura looked at him, eyes wide. How? Liam clenched his fists. We find that old ship in the woods. You fix it. We leave this place before your mother arrives. Zura stared at him, then nodded. Okay. But in the distance, in the dark sky above, another ship had already entered orbit, a shadow deeper than night, and it was watching. The secret in the wood's morning sky was gray. Liam stood at the edge of the forest, staring into the trees. Zura stood beside him, hood up, her silver hair hidden. Her glowing eyes didn't doubt they had one goal now: find the crashed ship deep in the woods. The one Zura said could help them escape. It was the last chance before her people came. 36 hours left. They moved quickly. The forest was quiet, but it didn't feel empty. Zura looked around, tense. We are being watched, she said softly. Liam gripped the small plasma cutter he'd taken from his dad's workshop. It wasn't a weapon, but it could burn through steel. It was something. Stay close, he said. As they walked deeper into the woods, the trees grew darker. The sunlight barely touched the ground. The crash site was overgrown now, vines wrapped around metal, but Zura recognized it. There, she whispered. The ship was shaped like a crescent moon, half buried in earth. Its hull was cracked and burned. A small symbol was still visible, a circle inside a triangle. Zura touched it gently. This is not just any ship, she said. It was a prototype, meant to travel between galaxies. It chose me when I escaped. It chose you? Liam asked. Zura nodded. The ship has a mind. It can connect, but it's sleeping now. They entered through a side panel. Inside was cold and dark. Dust hung in the air like fog. The lights blinked faintly. Zura touched the main console. It glowed under her hand. Still alive, she said, but weak, like me. Liam looked around. Can it fly? Zura frowned. Maybe, if I give it power, but I will lose energy. It will take my life. No, Liam said quickly. We'll find another way. Suddenly, a loud metal snap echoed behind them. They turned. Something was crawling across the ceiling. It dropped down a twisted, insect-like machine. 6 legs, red eyes, no face. Zura whispered. It's a seeker. The machine charged. Liam fired the plasma cutter. It hit the seeker's side. It sparked, but didn't stop. Zura raised her hand. A pulse of blue light hit the machine. It froze, shaking, then exploded. Smoke filled the ship. They coughed, stumbling back. Zura leaned against the wall. Her hands were shaking. They sent seekers ahead to clear the area. They knew I'd come back. Liam helped her sit. We need help. Zura looked up. There's someone, a human scientist. She helped me once. She is still on this planet. Where? Sector 9. Liam's face turned pale. That's a restricted zone. I know, Zura said. That's where they built me. Hours later, they reached an abandoned rover near the supply road. Liam hotwired it. It shook, then started. The road to Sector 9 was long, empty, and broken. Dead signs, rusted fences, no life. As they drove, Zura spoke softly. They made many like me, hybrids. But I was different. I had emotions. I cried. I asked questions. That scared them. Liam looked at her. That didn't make you weak. It made you real. She smiled faintly. They didn't agree. They reached Sector 9 by sunset. The lab was buried into a rocky mountain. Old towers stood like skeletons. Electric fences sparked randomly. Warning signs blinked dimly. Authorized personnel only, biohazard zone. They climbed over broken gates and entered through a side hatch. Inside smelled like rust and chemicals. The silence was loud. They moved through dark halls. Zura led the way. Level 3. She stays in cryo lab. They passed broken rooms, smashed glass, and strange symbols on walls. Z project. Live trial failed. Purge order issued. Liam whispered. What happened here? Zura didn't answer. Her face was cold. They found the cryo lab, a small room with large tanks filled with blue mist. In one tank, a woman floated. Her hair was white. Her face looked peaceful. Wires ran into her chest. Zura placed her hand on the glass. Dr. Riven. She helped me escape. She hid me when they came to destroy the others. Liam found the control panel. We can wake her. He pressed a button. Lights turned red. A robotic voice said, Cryo abort initiated. Security protocol active. The door behind them slammed shut. Suddenly, from the vents, Gas began to pour in. Liam coughed. It's a trap. Zura smashed the control. Screamed with her hand. Sparks flew. The tank opened, spilling freezing mist. Dr. Riven fell forward. Liam caught her. She coughed, blinking. Zura held her gently. It's me. We need help. The fleet is coming. Dr. Riven looked around. They never left. They're still watching. What do you mean? Liam asked. But the lights shut off. Heavy metal footsteps echoed. Zura turned. Her eyes were glowing again. The hunter is here. The door exploded open. The hunter entered, tall, black armor, no face. Just a silver mask and burning red eyes. Liam raised the cutter. Go, Zura shouted. No weapons. It learns. The hunter moved fast. It grabbed Liam by the throat and lifted him. Zura screamed, firing a shockwave of energy. It hit the hunter, but only made him stumble. Liam gasped, kicking, his face turning. Red. Dr. Riven reached into her coat and pulled out a small cube. She pressed it. A sonic wave blasted the room. The hunter dropped Liam and staggered. Zura grabbed Liam and ran. Come on. Dr. Riven stayed behind, slowing the hunter. I'll buy you time. Zura hesitated. Go, Riven shouted. Zura and Liam escaped through a service tunnel, crawling through dark metal vents until they reached outside. They ran, panting, until they reached the forest again. Zura collapsed against a tree. Liam sat beside her. We can't run forever. Zura looked at him. No, she said. We fight. Night fell again. Back at the ship, Zura connected to the main core. She whispered in her alien tongue. The lights glowed brighter. Liam watched her body weaken, but her eyes stayed strong. Once the ship flies, she said, we take the fight to the stars. Liam nodded. But we'll need allies, he said, others who don't believe in fear. Zura looked up at the stars. They'll come, she said. They'll come when they see what we're willing to stand for. But high above, in orbit, her mother's fleet had arrived, and they had one order. Erase the girl. Erase the human. Burn the colony. Captured by humans asters, the silence didn't last long. Zura was still connected to the ship, her skin glowing faintly. When Liam saw movement outside, he rushed to the ship's viewing window. 6 black vehicles were speeding through the tree's colony security. Dust flew behind them. Drones hovered above, scanning. They had found them. Zura, Liam whispered. They're here. She opened her eyes slowly. Not my people. No, he said. Humans. Zura stood. We must go. But it was too late. A loud voice echoed from outside through a speaker. This is Commander Wren of Colony Force Unit 12. Surrender now. Step out with hands raised. Liam looked at Zura. We can run. Zura shook her head. I'm the weak ships. Not ready. Liam's jaw tightened. Then I'll fight. Zura touched his arm gently. No, if you fight, they kill you. Let me go out first. No, please, she said. They'll listen to you. They won't to me. She stepped outside slowly, hands raised. Her hood fell. The moment the soldiers saw her glowing purple eyes, the screaming began. Alien confirmed. Target identified. Project Z09. Move in, Liam shouted. No, she's not dangerous. But they didn't care. Zura was hit by the shock darts. Her body stiffened. She collapsed to the ground. Liam ran to her, but a soldier tackled him. They were both taken. Location, Colony Detention Facility. Black level holding room was white. To white. Cold. Liam sat on a steel chair, his hands tied. Across from him sat a man in a long coat, dark eyes, sharp voice. I'm Commander Wren, son of Jacob Rennick. Yes? Liam didn't answer. You helped an alien fugitive. Interfered with government protocol. Access restricted zones. Your father's position doesn't protect you anymore. Liam clenched his jaw. Where's Zura? She's where she belongs. In a cage. She's not an enemy. Wren smiled coldly. She's not even a person. Elsewhere in the same facility, Zura lay inside a transparent box-thick glass. Lasers pointed at her chest. She was awake but weak. Her hands trembled. Her powers were gone. A woman stood outside the box stall, cold, wearing a white lab coat. Doctor Kira Holt. Look at you, she said. The famous Z09. The one that got away. Zura said nothing. Dr. Holt walked slowly around the box. You were the perfect project until you started to feel things. That made you broken. That made you dangerous. Zura whispered, I'm not broken. Then why did your own people reject you? Zura's eyes narrowed. Because they were afraid of what I became. And what are you now? Holt asked. Zura looked at her with fire in her voice. Free. Back in the interrogation room. Liam leaned forward. You're scared of her. That's why you've locked her up. Ren stood. No. I'm protecting humanity. Liam laughed. Bitterly. From what? A scared girl who just wants to live. She's not a girl. She's a weapon. You don't understand the bigger war. Liam stared at him, then explained it. Ren didn't answer. Instead, he walked out. Later that night, a security officer young, nervous entered Liam's cell. He whispered, I shouldn't be here, but I saw the footage. That girl, she protected you. She didn't attack anyone. I don't think she's what they say. Liam stood up fast. Then help me. Get me to her. The guard hesitated. There are cameras. Liam stepped closer, then blind them. The guard led Liam through maintenance tunnels. Above them, alarms started to flash. Unauthorized signal detected. Perimeter breach. The voice repeated. Louder. Unidentified ship entering atmosphere. Liam and the guard froze. Zura's people had arrived. In her cell, Zura felt it before she heard it. A deep vibration in the air. Her eyes widened. She's here. Dr. Holt looked at the screens. No, it's too soon. The ground shook outside. The sky turned red as a massive alien ship entered orbit, black, silent, shaped like a blade. A Lari warship. Zura's mother had come. Colony command tower. Emergency war room sirens blared. Holograms lit up with alien symbols. Commander Ren shouted, activate defense cannons. Prepare for hostile engagement. But it was too late. The Alari ship fired one warning shot. It didn't hit the colony. It hit Sector 9, erasing it in a single blast of red energy. A message followed in both human and Alari language. Deliver the hybrid, or we take everything. Liam and the guard reached Zura's holding room. The box was sealed. Open it. Liam said, I can't. I don't have the clearance. Liam looked around, then saw a pulse rifle on the wall. He smashed the glass and grabbed it. Back up, he said. The guard stepped away. Liam fired. The glass cracked, then shattered. The URA fell forward. Liam caught her. I knew you'd come, she whispered. Come on, he said. We're getting out. As they ran through the halls, chaos erupted outside. Soldiers were shouting. Command collapsed. Power flickered. Dr. Holt appeared at the end of the corridor, holding a plasma pistol. You're not taking her, she shouted. Zura stood up on her own. I'm done being taken. Her hands began to glow again. Power returned stronger. This time, Dr. Holt fired. The blast hit Zura's shield. Blue light shimmered. Zura stepped forward. I don't want to hurt you, she said, but I will not be locked up again. Dr. Holt lowered the gun slowly. For the first time, she looked unsure. You really believe you're more than what we made you? Zura nodded. I am. And with that, she turned and ran with Liam. Outside, near the crashed ship, the forest was burning from orbital heat. Zura's ship, now active, was pulsing with light. She touched the hull. It responded like it knew. Her. Liam helped her inside. The control panel lit up. The URA looked at him. Once we take off, we're not just running. Liam nodded. We're making a stand. She smiled. Together. As the ship lifted off, the colony behind them was silent. No one fired. Even Commander Ren stood watching, unable to pull the trigger, because deep down, he knew she wasn't the enemy anymore. She was the warning, the question, the future, the truth about Zura. Asterisk. The stars outside the ship moved like rivers of light. Zura sat in the pilot's seat, quiet, her hand resting on the ship's glowing console. Liam stood behind her, watching the galaxy pass by through the wide screen. But there was no peace in the silence. They had escaped Earth's colony. They had survived soldiers, seekers, and a bounty hunter. But now they were running toward something even bigger. Zura's mother, the general of the Alari fleet, and the truth Zura had been hiding even from herself. Zura didn't sleep that night. The ship had taken them to an uncharted part of space, far from both human colonies and Alari patrols. It was quiet here, dark space, full of floating debris and old dead satellites. But Zura had a reason for coming. Where are we? Liam asked as the ship slowed near a giant rock formation in space. Zura answered without turning. The grave. So Liam blinked. Grave? She nodded. This is where failed experiments were dumped by Sector 9. Not all of us escaped. Some were left to die here, floating, forgotten. Liam felt cold. You came here to find them, Zura's. Voice was flat. To find the truth. The ship docked on a floating metal platform, part of an ancient lab station. Zura and Liam stepped out, wearing breathing gear. The air was thin and stale. Inside the broken station, old lights flickered. Dust floated like snow. Metal walls were scratched with names, Z01, Z02, Z08. Then, at the far end, they found a chamber still active. In the center was a cryopod. Inside it floated a young boy, maybe 16, like Liam. His skin shimmered silver blue like Zura's, but his eyes were closed. Liam stepped back. Who is he? Zura stared. My brother. A console near the pod was still working. Zura placed her hand on it. The screen came to life, playing a video. A human scientist appeared. His voice was tired, almost broken. Project Z was meant to bring peace. A hybrid for Spark human. Part Alari strong enough to survive any planet. But something changed. The Alari wanted control. They demanded the children obey only them. Zura was the only one who resisted. She felt emotion. She rejected the programming. The general, her mother, ordered the project shut down. The others were destroyed. Only Zura escaped. Liam turned to her. You didn't just run. You were the only one who lived. Zura stared at the pod. No, I wasn't the only one. He lived too, but they froze him, hid him from me. Liam asked softly, do you want to wake him? Zura placed her hand on the cryo panel, then stopped. I don't know who he'll be, if he's like me, or if they made him worse. She looked at Liam. But I can't leave him. She pressed the button. The pod hissed. Steam filled the room. The boy opened his eyes, purple, like hers, but colder. Later, back on the ship, boy sat across from them. His name was Kale. He didn't speak much at first. His voice was soft, robotic, like he was learning language again. Zura asked, do you remember me? Kale blinked. Sister, Z09. I'm not a number anymore, she said. He looked at her. You changed. I broke the code, she said. I chose my own path. Kale tilted his head. Path is weakness. Obedience is survival. Liam stepped forward. She survived by being more than what they made her. Kale's eyes flickered. You are human. Weak. Liam didn't respond. Ura said. He's my friend. Kale didn't speak after that. He simply stared out the window. But later that night, while Zura rested, Liam found Kale standing in the dark, whispering into a small hidden communicator. Target located. Z09 alive. Human companion present. Awaiting orders. Liam's heart dropped. The next day, Zura woke to alarms. Her ship was being scanned. A cloaked vessel was nearby. Not human. Not fully Alari either. Something worse. A shadow ship. Liam ran to her. Kale betrayed us. Zura looked around. Where is he now? The ship rocked. A boarding signal was received. Zura turned to Liam. We can't fight this. Not now. But Liam held her hand. Then we outsmarted. They set a trap. Zura led Kale into the lower deck, pretending she knew nothing. The ship's AI locked doors behind him. Liam rerouted power to the outer thrusters. When Kale realized he was trapped, he laughed quietly. You become soft. Zura faced him through the glass. No, I became human. Kale's eyes changed. Then you'll die like one. He slammed his fist into the wall. The metal cracked. Ura activated the emergency bay ejector. The floor opened under Kale. He fell into space. The shadow ship pulled him in, thinking they had caught Zura. But they were wrong. Zura collapsed to the floor, her breathing heavy. Liam helped her up. That was smart. But he'll come back. I know, she said. But now we know they're watching us from everywhere. We have no allies. Liam shook his head. That's not true. He opened a drawer. Inside was a signal flare. This is human tech. It sends a beacon to all nearby colonies. We tell them the truth. Show them what's really happening. Let them choose. Zura looked at him. You think they'll listen? Liam smiled. If they don't, we make them. They sent the signal across nearby systems. Colonies received a strange broadcast. A glowing girl with alien eyes, and a human boy standing beside her. They told a simple truth. She was made to fight for someone else's war, but she chose to save instead of destroy. She chose peace. She chose freedom. The Alari call her a traitor. The humans call her a threat. We call her Zura, and people listen. Because sometimes the truth isn't in the blood you're born with. It's in the choices you make. Far across space, A massive ship floated silently inside. A tall woman in silver armor stared at the message. Her eyes glowed red. Her voice was calm, but deadly. She remembers nothing, she said. She thinks. She is free. A younger soldier beside her asked, "Shall we destroy them now?" The woman shook her head. "No, we bring her home." She turned to a screen showing Zura's face. She doesn't know the real truth yet, that her human friend is more connected to us than she realizes. Her lips curved into a smile. Let her come. Between two world stars were no longer silent. Ships moved through space like fireflies before a storm. Human war fleets on high alert. Alari battle cruisers cutting through the void, and in the middle of it all, a single rogue ship carrying the most dangerous truth in the galaxy. Zura stood in the center of her command deck. Her eyes were calm, but her body felt like a storm inside. She had the data chip. She had the evidence. She had the power to end the war, or start one that could burn entire worlds. Liam joined her at the console. "You've been quiet," he said softly. "I've been thinking," Zura replied. "About what I am." "You already know," he said. "No." She shook her head. "I'm not just a weapon, not just a girl. I'm the result of two species trying to outcontrol each other. I carry the blood of enemies, and they both want to use me." Liam touched her hand. "Then don't let them." Zura looked at him. "What if peace isn't possible?" Liam's voice was firm. "Then we make it possible." The chip, when activated, revealed everything. Hundreds of hybrid children created in secret labs. Alari leaders working with human corporations, genetic testing on living beings. Orders to erase any emotional development in hybrids. Feelings were considered a defect, and at the center of it all, Project Z, led by General Lysara, Zura's mother, and another unexpected name, Dr. Elias Rennick, Liam's grandfather. Liam stared at the screen in shock. "My grandfather was one of the founders of Project Z." Zura looked at him, unsure. "It means the Alari and humans planned this together. You and I, we were never meant to meet by accident." Liam backed away. "This whole thing, our friendship, this war, it was all part of some experiment." Zura reached for him. "No, that part was real. What we chose was real. You saved me. You didn't follow a plan." Liam looked into her glowing eyes. "I believe you," he said, "but I'm scared." "Me too," Zura whispered. Suddenly, a sharp alarm rang through the ship. "Incoming transmission. Source, General Lysara." Zura hesitated. Then, slowly, she answered. Her mother appeared on the screen. Behind her stood Kale, alive and changed. His eyes no longer cold, but angry, focused. "You have the chip," Lysara said. "I do," Zura replied. "You plan to send it to every world," Zura said, "to show them the truth." Lysara's voice turned sharp. "You will start a war." "No," Zura said. "I will end your control." Kale stepped forward. "You are not Alari anymore. You are not even one of us." Zura stared at him. "Then maybe I'm something new." Lysara leaned in. "One last offer. You return. Destroy the data. I'll spare the humans, even your friend." Zura didn't blink. "I'm not afraid of you anymore." Lysara's face hardened. "So be it." The screen went black. Within hours, the Alari fleet arrived near the orbit of a neutral planet, Kalen 5, a broadcasting hub, with relay towers that reached every colony and settlement. The humans sent their ships too. Neither side fired first. A final standoff. One spark would start it all. Zura's ship hovered above the towers. She held the chip in her hand. Her voice echoed through the deck. "If I send this, the Alari will attack. And if I don't, the truth stays buried." Liam stepped beside her. "Whatever you choose, I'm with you." Zura smiled faintly. She closed her eyes and sent the transmission across the galaxy. The message began to play. Project Z, hybrid children, genetic betrayal, Alari corruption, human silence. The footage was undeniable. Billions watched, and the war began. The Alari opened fire on Kalen 5's towers. Human ships engaged. Explosions lit the blackness of space. Zura's ship was caught in the crossfire. She raced to the controls. "We need to protect the broadcast until it finishes," Liam shouted. "Shields are dropping." Kel's ship appeared behind them. "This ends now," he called out. Zura opened a channel. "You don't have to do this, Kale. I was made for this." He screamed. "I'm what they created me to be," Zura whispered, "and I'm not." They collided in space. Inside Kel's ship. The final battle began. Zura boarded through an airlock breach. Sparks flew. The hallway shook. Kale waited for her, a plasma blade in hand. You betrayed your blood, he said. Zura activated her shield. No, I gave it meaning. They clashed. Blue light against red steel. Sparks lit the room. Kale fought with rage, Zura with clarity. He slashed, she dodged. She hit, he stumbled. Then Kale screamed, "Why didn't you save me?" Zura paused. "I wanted to," she said, "but they locked you away. They feared you would feel. I do feel." He shouted, "Then choose," Zura said, "right now." Kale froze, then dropped his blade. The fight was over. Back outside, the fleets had stopped firing. The message had reached every world. Colonies were rising. Protests, demands. Truth spread faster than any ship. And inside the bridge of the Alari flagship, General Lysara stood alone. A report came in. Zura's transmission has been confirmed. The people want answers. Half the Alari forces refused to continue. Her eyes dimmed. She turned off the screen. 3 days later, a neutral summit was held on Kalin 5. For the first time in history, Alari leaders and human commanders stood in the same room watching a girl with glowing eyes speak. Zura stood tall. "You created us to fight. You thought we'd follow your rules. But we found each other. We built trust. We didn't choose sides. We chose peace." She looked at Liam. "We chose love." Gasps filled the room. One human general whispered, "She's not just an experiment. She's the future." Zura finished. "I am both human and Alari. I am not a mistake. I am a bridge." Years later, the galaxy was changing. A new force had formed, the Unity Accord, a council led by hybrid voices. Human and Alari scientists worked together, no longer hiding in shadows. Liam became a diplomat. Zura became a symbol. Peace wasn't perfect, but it had begun. On a quiet green planet, a young girl with silver blue skin and human eyes sat in a garden, playing with stars made of light. She looked up as her mother walked by. "Tell me the story again," the girl said. Zura smiled. "Which one?" "The one where the alien girl met a human boy and changed the whole galaxy." Zura knelt beside her. "Ah, yes. That one started with fear, but it ended with hope." The girl grinned. "It's my favorite." Zura looked at the stars above. "Mine too."